So this will be fun. This is a video I have entitled In Defence of the Eurovision Song Contest, because right now it needs some defending. I'm from Northern Ireland, so being from Northern Ireland we have the right to identify as British or Irish, and I always joke that my identity comes from whether or not we have a better Eurovision entry from the UK or a better Eurovision entry from Ireland, and we haven't actually heard Ireland yet, so I can't actually comment on how I'm feeling right now. But since we've just heard the UK entry, I thought I would just share my thoughts on Eurovision as a whole, coming from the perspective of someone who lives in the UK where it is universally hated. I just really felt compelled to make this video because today's launch just really annoyed me immensely. So I kind of just wanted to cover a couple of topics about why I think the UK should take Eurovision seriously. Alright, this has nothing against James Newman. I genuinely really like our song, but genuinely just I think these are a couple of things that we could maybe work on in the future and we might actually reap the benefits from it. And I don't want to see the UK withdraw because I think that would be a step in the wrong direction. I think if we withdrew, I don't think we'd ever come back because I don't think we have the support from the media to ever come back, so that's not what I want. I don't want, it would probably be good for us to withdraw, but at the same time I don't want us to withdraw purely because it would just not go well for us at all if we withdrew. I'm just going to put that out there. So I have a list of things on my laptop to make sure that I go through everything that I want to talk about. So this is mainly inspired by the article in The Guardian, which said something along the lines of, "We come last every year, why would you waste your career?" Like, why would James Newman, a Grammy Award nominated songwriter, waste his career by entering Eurovision? And this whole thing about Eurovision being a career killer is just not true at all. Maybe because like if you think about the past couple of years, our artists have not really come to anything, but that's not necessarily the case across Europe. Like, going to Eurovision, it shouldn't be an opportunity that we just don't want to do as artists. It should be something that we should be passionate about. It should be something the artist represented feels passionately about, and usually it is genuinely something that they feel passionate about, because and it should be something the media should make the artist feel passionate about. If you're like, why is this artist wasting their career doing Eurovision? Clearly that is the problem, that we assume straight away that because someone is doing Eurovision that is going to end their career. So many artists have their careers take off from doing Eurovision. It gives you exposure to like a whole worldwide audience that normally you just wouldn't have exposure to, and that's like a really big deal for a lot of like smaller artists. So it's not even that we need to choose like a major star, because that's the other argument the UK always give you, with like, even if we sent Coldplay or Adele we still wouldn't win, and that's not necessarily the case. But you don't need to send a big named artist. You can send a big named artist, it will probably work in our favour maybe, but it's not like the be all and end all. If we send an artist passionate about Eurovision, passionate about music, passionate about the music that they make and give them creative control, surely that should reap benefits. Surely that should say that this artist wants to be here, this artist is proud to represent their country in this competition. If the whole thing is just seen as a joke by, I'm not saying the artists see it as a joke, I'm saying the artists take it seriously, but the delegation as a whole take it as a joke. The UK take it as a joke. And that's with the songs we send. This year's is good, I'm not knocking this year's, but generally the songs that we send for Eurovision, and they're very specifically for Eurovision. It's like, this is what we have, the music that we like over here, and we put the music that we were going to send to Eurovision over here, and they just do not coincide, and then people ask why we don't do well, and it's because the music that we like is not the music that we're having represent us in Eurovision. The music that is representing us in Eurovision is something that has clearly been manufactured purely for the purpose of representing us in Eurovision. So Italy do this really well, and Italy select a song in a show called Remo, which is not actually a Eurovision selection, but the winner of Remo then goes to Eurovision, or has the opportunity to go to Eurovision if they want to. They don't have to. But because they're just voting for their favourite song, they're not voting for a song that they want to see in Eurovision, they always end up with amazing entries. And it's like, why can the UK not like see that that's what we need to do? We need to send a song representative of our music scene, a song that we like, a song that we would want to listen to on the radio. That should surely be indicative of what the rest of the Europe want to listen to on the radio. Eurovision is a music competition. It's a song competition. Like, at the end of the day, it is about the song. It's not about how well the person sings it. It's not about necessarily about the staging. The staging obviously helps, but it's not even necessarily about the staging. It's about how well you can get yourself across to an audience. And if you're singing a song you don't believe in, if your delegation don't believe in you to do well, if the media at home is being like, you're never going to win this, surely that's not a good thing to promote your song to the rest of the world. If you're hyping yourself up, you're hyping people at home are hyping things up, that's good, that's promising, but that's not happening in the UK. In the UK, the situation with the media is always very, 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 very negative. I'm pretty sure people wrote off the UK before, like people in the UK wrote off the UK before they'd even heard the song. They think that other countries, and we should be beating all these other countries because we are superior, whereas they're sending better entries. We are not sending good entries. The gimmicks that UK think make Eurovision. I love a gimmick. I love the Roop with On Fire. I love it so much. I know the dance, have it down, but on that, that's not a gimmicky song. It has a dance, which is a gimmick, I guess, but it's not like a joke entry. Gimmicks are not joke entries. Joke entries do not win Eurovision. I think that's another thing that people think, that it needs this like giant gimmick in order to win. And then even when someone is like a serious entry, like Spirit in the Sky was not a joke entry, UK took it as a joke entry. Occidentali's Karma is one of the greatest songs ever written in the entire history of the world, yet the UK, all they took from it was the monkey costume. It's a joke entry. Toy was not a joke entry. And if you look at the songs that have won, there's no correlation with any of them. They're all completely different. Every song that's won in the past however many years, they're all really different songs. Eurovision is a changing landscape, and it's a changing opportunity and platform, and it should be seen as such. It shouldn't be seen as just this place where artists go for their careers to die, because that is not what it is. I need to like give myself a few minutes give myself time to recompose. Whew. Getting very, very, very worked up right now. Okay. Politics. That's another big one. This is another reason why people think that people don't vote for the UK. Mainly, people only vote for their neighbours, and two, Brexit. Nobody cares about Brexit. People don't vote for the UK because we don't believe in our entries. That is the absolute crux of the matter here, is that we as a country do not believe in our performance enough to like hype it. We don't hype our performance enough for it to get a good result. We don't send a song that we believe in. We send a song we're like, oh, this will do well in Eurovision, without thinking of whether it will or not. Politics does come into it very slightly. I mean, if countries vote for their neighbours, I'm not going to like beat about the bush and say that countries do not vote for their neighbours, and they don't, and they definitely don't vote for the countries that they don't like. But 2015, can we just talk about 2015? Because so many countries that year broke the mould with voting and didn't vote for their neighbours, and instead they voted for Italy. Yeah, how did Italy not win? I am still bitter. Still a bit bitter about that, but yeah. So you see, not every country will vote for their neighbour, and not everybody watching will vote for their neighbour. So yes, a country may give their neighbour 12 points, but if they give 10 points to the song they like best, and every country gives 10 points to the song they like best, that voting is outweighing the neighbour voting. Portugal have no neighbours, Israel have no neighbours, the UK have one neighbour, and people also like complain whenever Ireland don't vote for us, whenever they also complain about countries that do vote for us, and Ireland do vote for us. This is a thing that we don't get because they read out the jury votes. The Irish televote vote for us every year. Our only points last year came from the Irish televote, yet the jury gave us no points. So yeah. The media are also like super at fault here because they are the ones that don't promote Eurovision in a good light. They're the ones who are telling people constantly that Eurovision is something to be embarrassed of. It's something that we aren't good at. It's something people just don't like us. But that's the media. If the media were good and media are like, yo, let's get behind our Eurovision act, it might make like non-fans like actually just listen to the song and be like, yo, this is a good song, or play other entries from other countries, because every single year there are so many good songs that come through Eurovision, and the UK just don't ever hear them because we're stuck in this mindset that Eurovision is some big joke and that it's just something that we shouldn't take seriously, and that no good music comes from Eurovision. So much good music comes from Eurovision. It might not even be the actual entry, but it could be an artist who has like released songs before and you're like, oh, that's a really good song. One of my favourite songs of all time is the Melfest entry, which didn't even make it to Eurovision. So there are so many good songs that come out every year, and not following Eurovision is just such a big thing for why people aren't exposed to cultures. Eurovision is one of the biggest reasons why I love travel. It's why I love language. It's why I love everything European. Basically kind of spawns from like my love of Eurovision. I've watched Eurovision since 2008 when I don't even know what age I was in 2008, 10. I think I was 10. Yeah. So I've watched it since I was 10 religiously every single year since I was 10 years old. So it's 12 years I've been watching Eurovision, and yeah, I just think that's 12 years I've had of exposure to European media, of exposure to the world. My geography is really good. I also put that down to Eurovision as well. So many things you can learn from just paying a little bit of attention to an event that is monumental. It is a monumental event. I also want to talk about like how the artist who represents the UK must feel whenever people are like, oh, it's the UK, hope you're ready for last place, lol, because I'm sure they are ready for last place. No one goes into a contest being like, oh, I'm gonna win this contest. 100%. You're against 42 other countries. Like, that's a lot of other people to compete against. No one should be in being like, oh, I know I'm going to win this. You should be going in with the expectation of, oh, I might come last, and that's okay. I'm okay with coming last. I just want to get myself exposure. Obviously being competitive and wanting to win is obviously part of it. Like, obviously you want to win, but knowing that you might not win is such a big part of competing as well. But the fact that we make it like a laughing joke, like a joke, that the person who enters for the UK is 100% going to come last. We have come last twice. Maybe more than twice. We've got 0 points like once. Everyone like, nobody votes for the UK. People do vote for the UK. And just think about how that like artist must feel whenever all they're seeing from their home country is just, this is gonna flop. This is gonna be like the worst. This is gonna be the UK's worst entry ever. Like, I just don't understand that way of thinking. I don't understand how you can hear a song or not even hear the song. I guarantee you a lot of those reviews were written before they heard the song because they knew that it was going to flop, because that's the UK mindset and we can't really change that. So yes, generally that is all I want to say on this matter. I think the UK just need to be better. You just need to do better. You need to this year I'm happy with our entry this year. I'm not gonna rant about James, I'm really happy with James. I think he's gonna be a really great representative. I just wish that the UK itself as a country could just be better. Yeah, that's really all I want to say. I feel like this has kind of been disjointed, but I feel like I got my point across okay. I hope I got my point across okay. I might make a part 2 if I end up with other things that I might say, but yeah, thanks for watching.